Hello everybody. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Know that I said I wanted to post a lot of different types of videos on here, and this is going to be one of those different ones. This is maybe educational, maybe helpful, that kind of thing, but I wanted to learn a little bit about animation. I got Krita, which is a free animation and drawing tool comparable to a lot of different like iPad things like Procreate and that kind of thing. And Krita is absolutely free, and I wanted to try my hand at making something for a logo for YouTube. And I have my logo already, but I wanted to make something that was interactive, that would take up, the first 15-20 seconds, something like that. And I was trying to come up with some ideas, and this is kind of the baseline of what I did, and I was just trying to with some different animation techniques. Found some really cool ways to do it. Watched a couple of different YouTubers just to get a basic idea on how this stuff works. Set up the little time scale. This video is going to be about 12 minutes long. Tried to keep it down. If things move fast, or if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to see anything new, if you guys want to continue to see new content like this, just let me know in the comments. I'm learning this as I go. I've tried drawing. I've done drawing a lot in the past. However, with animation is something I've never done because I've never had the tools or the ability or any type of know-how to do it. But with this made it very simple and fantastic to use. So you can see here I was trying to place have this little red thing come out of the side of the screen, come over, look at the planet that's sitting there and kind of wonder what was this. But the question mark was not working how I was hoping. I was like, well, I guess it's just going to be implied. So I'm doing this stop and 2-layer technique here with placing one in front of the other to have it go around, and then creating other layers that are underneath the purple planet. Some time scales to go through. I did figure out a better way to do this later on than what I did, which, is very helpful. I'm one of those kind of people that's a learn as you go. And I make a lot of mistakes, and sometimes it takes me a lot longer to learn it, but I do get there eventually. So I wanted to have this cool effect where it goes behind the planet and circles back around to the front. And I want that little red thing to the little red planet that's circling around to kind of be alive. I'm curious as to what this purple thing is. So what I did was I took the video that I had. It was about 2 hours in total. I started at about 10, finished at about noon completely. So it was about 2 hours in total to kind of learn through this process and go through making this. And honestly, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. Krita is very simple, very straightforward to use. I've used some other animation products in the past which are pretty nice, but this one is definitely very user-friendly. With watching just a couple of little quick 5 to 10 minute tutorial things on it, I was able to figure it out pretty quickly. I didn't know with animation, just like any Disney movie or something like that, that you're going to have to do each scene individually. So what I tried to do was kind of add different layers up as I went and add different colors. I struggled with a few spots, but this was definitely an extremely fun project. Once I got to here and I realized, oh yeah, I can add gradients and add colors and things that blow up behind it and make it color up. I was like, how do I add motion to it was my biggest problem. The easiest thing I can say for adding motion in it is to just take your time, go frame by frame by frame by frame to add things in. It is the best way to do it. And you can see here I have some issues with some of the tools, trying to figure out how to do them, what to use. And then it's like, okay, I use the select tool to grab things to that way I could just edit just what was inside the circle, and I figured that out, and it made it so much easier to use. And then each scene I kind of just moved it forward, made it a little bigger, tried to make it emulate somewhat of a glowing planet that just got angry and then blew up and then started moving forward. Just keep moving it, and this is where I've learned, you can actually select an area and just move it forward instead of creating a whole new thing, which was the biggest thing. I was like, I'm not going to recreate this thing every single time. the little color blotch where each time you click it, it makes it a little bit heavier and denser. Using the colors in there was absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is such a fun project to do, and I'm definitely going to be working on more in the future. And I figured, you know, seeing something done as the process grows. I've done some artwork before, just basic drawings, and doing those, I've start to finish, it's just such a fun little process to watch happen as it's going. You can kind of see the development in a fast way, which is, to me, very enticing and satisfying. It's like watching those videos where they cut through multiple layers or just seeing things get crunched up. It's so fun to see it happen much quicker than 2 hours of a period. There's lots of little different brushes. I tried lots of little different things. And when you're working on these projects like this, it doesn't make a big difference if you're using terrible line tools or something like that, because it's not as noticeable when you're doing the full animation throughout. As you can see here, I just make these lines. I made these big ones here, and then I realized, oh no, I need to add some little ones to make it more as it's happening and growing. Another problem I had was like, okay, this is growing. How do I add to where this planet's actually going to blow up with it? So that was just another little test here. And as you can tell, I took a couple little breaks. Always some things happen in time, but I was like, okay, now I'm going to start glowing, making everything kind of merge together as it's exploding in a way. And I made some few hiccups, tried playing it through a few times to see what happens, try to merge it together, go back to the other previous scenes and make it kind of merge together, make the whole thing glow. This was really awesome. I was so surprised at how intuitive and easy this part was. Just go with it. If you make a little mistake, instead of trying to fix every little thing, just kind of work with it and make it work. Try to patch it, use different tools for the heck of it, make some fun stuff. I could have done a lot of these better and animated a lot better, but I was also using my mouse. I do have a pad that I'm going to use in the future, so that way I can use my hand gestures like I'm actually painting and doing things like that, because that would make the art so much better. But even still, this was just a fun little template of something that I wanted to try. I kept trying to do outlines. The erase is very helpful whenever you're trying to make this stuff happen. Playing with the layers, making sure you have the right layers. I left layer 4 behind for a while and it came back to bite me in the end. Make sure you're using colors, changing the colors ever so slightly. I was kind of in a hurry at the end, so it's kind of going faster, and you can see some animations skip frames, but I was kind of making it like a world imploding on itself, and then you have that sideways thing that you always see in the movies with the poof that flies out from everything. So that was kind of the thing here. And then the next biggest problem I had was I wanted to make this little planet coming back to life, like the two planets merged, exploded, and then there was like it's coming back to life, glowing, starting from nothing. From my understanding of science, I thought that was pretty cool, and tried doing some different layers here, trying to find a good tool to fill this in, because I wanted it to turn into full red, because that's the color of my logo. I found the little fill-in tool, and it just slowly, gradually filled it up to a red sun. And then this is where I have my logo, and it's very huge, but I was able to use it with the move tool to make it fit, do all that kind of stuff with it. And then I ran into a major snag, because I only watched 5 minutes of that tutorial video. Not very helpful when you get to the end point and you're trying to learn how to do something. This did get a little frustrating. Took me about a half an hour to figure out this part. So you can see here the animation, how it's working out. I had some minor layer issues, which I realized I just had to erase it from that point in the section, and then it cleared it up. And then it was actually working properly. And then had a little issues with the time frame on how I'm going to add the time all the way to the end, because it wasn't allowing me to do that. But the major thing was here with the logo was how I was going to get the logo to be added at the end. Because for some reason, once you add a logo in there, it's part of the scene. So it's taking up everything, and you can either make it disappear or have it show up. So I spent a good half an hour trying to get that to work to where it would show up at the end. Tried shading it, erasing it, making it disappear, moving it through the timeline, changing start and stop times. The start and stop time on Krita is literally when you're going to watch the animation start and stop happen for the entire thing, not for just that segment. If you have any questions or you want to learn more or do that and grow with me as this channel grows, just let me know. And somewhere in here I did cut out a couple sections where I did go online, learned how to do a couple of quick things, and I learned with where I was placing this image, I imported it incorrectly. Because when you import it as a full image, it's either going to be there or it's not. And unless you recreate the wheel, it's going to be there permanently. I tried moving it out of the way, moving it back at this certain section, but it just moved it there permanently. So I figured out if you import it in a slightly different way, that you can actually set when it gets imported in. You can see I'm looking through all the different settings, channels, everything to try to get this to work, and it was just beyond frustrating. It's like, I have everything, do I just skip this? I'm like, nope, I'm determined to make it work. I tried adding opacity. That kind of worked as I was working with it. However, when you press play, it was at whatever opacity that you left it at. And opacity is basically how much of it you see. If it's at 100%, you can 100% see the image. If it's at 0, you can't see any of it. If it's at 50, you can see 50% like here. Yeah, right here is where I figured out, oh, I need to import it as an actual layered technique. So once I went to there, it was very simple to put it in line it up to where I wanted it in the segments. Here I was playing with the sizes because they were pretty close, and I grabbed the wrong one when I first edited it. So, you know, I made it last a few extra turns and then the complete thing. So I would like to say thank you to everybody and my kids and everybody and all the viewers out there. Please like and subscribe to this video, and thank you so much. Have a great day. So now that we're at the end of the video, and I've already asked you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, which I am working on trying to get that to work properly, I will let you guys watch the full animation start to finish. I wanted it to be 15 to 20 seconds, you know, and it's not quite that long. It's only about 13. So here goes, and enjoy, and tell me what you think. Think if there's anything that you would improve, do better on, please let me know. All right, and that's all she wrote. The end almost reminds me of an old style cartoon that if you've watched it, you know what it is. I'm not going to say it out loud on YouTube because I'll probably get in trouble. But if you've seen it, you know. So thanks so much. Have a great day, and talk to you later.